guys, we've been learning all about shapes this week and lines. So I'm going to show you how you can make your own shape game out of cardboard. Now when we do this game, we have played it at school as well. So now you can make your very own set. And it focuses on words like part and whole. So we are going to be starting with a whole shape and cutting it into two parts. Now, so what you need is some cardboard, and I've just used an old cardboard box. And why I chose this is because it's blank on both sides. You can use cardboard from recycling boxes, but then they do have one side that's different to the other, and that kind of gives the game away when you play. So try and choose something that is the same on both sides. So color cardboard would be fine as long as it's the same color on each side. Okay, I started by choosing to cut out rectangles. So I cut out a whole lot of rectangles from my cardboard box. You can choose triangles, hearts, squares, circles to cut into two parts, or you can do all of them, you decide. So I've gone and chosen rectangles. And then what I did was I cut in the middle a zigzag line. Now, in this one I've chosen zigzag, but in other shapes I've chosen curvy lines and different kinds of lines. But now if you have a look here, when we do this, I cut it in my zigzag line, and now look, when I separate them, I have two parts. And what do two parts make when we put them back together? This one makes a whole rectangle again. So there are our words. Two parts make a whole, and we know that they match because of their zigzag line. So now to make a fun game of it, you have to make a lot of them and then mix them all up and try to put them back together. So let's have a look at the ones I've got here on my table already. I've chosen rectangles and I've cut them in different ways down the middle, leaving me with two parts that will match together. But because I've mixed them all up, it's a little bit more tricky now. So let's have a look. Why don't we put all the pieces that have the same kind of line together? So we have wavy lines here. I have 4 pieces that have wavy lines, and I know that 2 parts make a whole. So I'm going to have to see which 2 parts make a whole. And that's why I said it's quite cool to make cardboard that is blank on different sides, because there's an option here that I might have to flip them over. There we go. Those 2 parts fit to make a whole. Will these 2 parts fit to make a whole? Yes, they do. Let's keep going. Now in this section, I have straight edge shapes with long and short lines and zigzag lines. I wonder which 2 will fit together to make a whole. So if we look at the lines, we can figure out how to put them together. Those 2 match. Now these 2 match. Now if we jumbled them up a little bit and mixed them all up, you would notice that, this wouldn't match. So your other option would be to flip it over. And that is why I like cardboard that is blank. Now you can try and play a little bit of a harder game and try and cut shapes into more pieces. Now I've cut my rectangle shape here into 3 parts. So for this puzzle, 1, 2, 3 parts made a whole, even though that this part is much bigger than those 2 parts. But when I did put them together, those 3 brought back my rectangle again. And I have another puzzle here. Those 2 shapes and that shape fitted together make a rectangle. How cool is that? I can see that 1, 2, 3 rectangles form a brand new rectangle. But those 3 rectangles were different shapes. So there's lots of vocab there for you guys to learn. Now you can also try to make a similar game using paper plates. And it doesn't even have to be paper plates. You can use the same thing, but now you can practice your numbers. So on one part of my paper plate, I've written a number. And on the second part, I've put the dots, the same amount of dots that matches the number. So do you know what number this is? Let's check to see if you are right and count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dots. So 6 dots match the number 6. And I know I'm right because look, even my puzzle will fit together with the wavy line. Now you could also write the word 6 and match 6. The word 6 and the number 6 with the dots. Let's quickly try a nice big number 10. Again, I cut out the paper plate using a wavy line and I wrote the number 10, and let's see if there are 10 dots this side. Now what's pretty cool is the way I wrote these or drew these is in the same way a dice would have these numbers. So that's pretty cool. That makes it easy to recognize. So let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you know you're right because those two pieces join together to make the whole. So there are 2 games for you guys to play. With these pieces, you could write numbers and shapes as well to make it the same as that. Guys, enjoy your game and have fun with shapes. Bye.